Welcome again to Cottage Talk. I am Russ Goldman. This is my preview of Fulham's match against Wolves. My 5 keys to victory for Fulham against Wolves. I'll be sharing them in the next 15 to 20 minutes. I'll also be sharing my prediction for the starting 11, what I think Marco will do, and I'll be ending with my prediction for the match. So I have a lot to get to in this 15 to 20-minute show. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. Okay, well, let's get to the preview. I also just want to mention that I was a guest on a show called Whole Lot of Wolves. Please check that out. I think you're going to find it interesting, my comments on that show. I am one that I have nothing against Wolves. I actually hope Wolves do well over the course of the season. I think they're similar to Fulham in many ways. So I have nothing against Wolves. But I'm going to give you my 5 keys to victory, how I think Fulham are going to win this match. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I think Fulham are going to win this match. So that will be in my prediction. But let's get there. So let's start with number 5. This is a key one, and this is one that I think, especially against an opponent like this, could make a difference in the match. Number 5, the back four must play mistake-free football. Now, this is easier said than done. I can look at the back four and see mistakes all over the place. I look at Anthony Robinson, and lately I can see a mistake a game. Just lately, not over the entire season. So he needs to play mistake-free football. This is where it gets interesting. The center back pairing, I'm thinking it will be Ream and Bassi. Maybe it's Ream and Tosin. We don't know what Marco's going to do. I have a feeling Tosin might be available based on the fact that he was not ruled out in Marco's presser. Will he start? I don't know, but we shall see. But regardless, I think it's important against an opponent that's very good counterattacking, an opponent that will come at you, that you play mistake-free football. On the right, I actually hope we see Kenny Tete in this match. Nothing against Timothy Castagna, but I think that I would like to see Tete play against a team like this. But we shall see. Whoever is your right back, again, you cannot be giving this team an opportunity to score a goal. We've seen it several times lately with Fulham that the back four just makes a mistake and it leads to a goal, and that could be deadly against a team like Wolves. So number 5, once again, the back four must play mistake-free football. They have to be better than they've been lately. Number 4, and this is an interesting one. Marco generally shows up in my keys to victory. He's at number 4, and it is this. Marco Silva needs to win the coaching battle. Now, this is an interesting one. Gary O'Neill, I want to give a lot of credit because I know there was much controversy that when he came in to become the manager of Wolves. He's done a very nice job. Let's give him credit where credit is due. But both managers have some very interesting decisions to make with players being out. On Fulham's side, how do you make a difference? How do you come up with a lineup to overcome the loss of João Palhinha? Well, that's on Marco, and Marco's going to have to figure that out. But on the flip side, and keep this in mind, Wolves have 2 key players out. Fulham have 1 key player out. Wolves have 2. Craig Dawson is a huge component of their back 3 when they play a back 3. He is out for this match. Pedro Neto is out for this match. Every time I have watched Wolves play, and I've watched him play more than a few times, he has been extremely dangerous. The fact that he's not available for this match is a boost for Fulham. Yes, the loss of Palhinha is huge, and Marco will have to figure out a way to come up with a solution here. I'll be talking about that in more detail, and I'll just give you a little preview. That's going to be my number 1 when we talk about central midfield. But let's just focus on winning the coaching battle. He has to get the starting 11 right. He has to set Fulham up to win, not to draw, to win. He has to set them up to win, and he's going to have to make the right substitutions here. He's going to have to basically get all his decisions right and outcoach Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill has done a nice job, like I mentioned, but I think it's not just about the starting 11. It's about the substitutions. It's about the tactics. He has to get it all right for Fulham to get all 3 points at home. Remember, Fulham are at home. Number 3, Fulham need to take advantage of their set piece opportunities. I don't think we've talked enough about this. I know I haven't. Fulham's set pieces have not been at the level that they were at last season. Andres Pereira has not been at the level that he was from last season. He needs to be much better with his deliveries, and Fulham need to be better with their opportunities that are given to them. Again, Fulham were so dominant last season on set piece chances. They need to be scoring more goals. Listen, they don't have Mitro anymore. One of the advantages that they had was the amount of goals that they scored on set pieces. I know that Mitro was a big part of it, but you have other players that can score goals off of set pieces. So for me, this is going to be huge. If Fulham can get a goal from a set piece, I think that's going to really push them in the right direction. That's why number 3 is Fulham need to take advantage of their set piece opportunities, because let's be honest, they really have not this season, and it's been a problem. And part of the reason, I think, where they are in the table, because you don't have the striker, but you need to be more clinical on set pieces, and the deliveries need to be much better from Andres Pereira. They just not been at that same level. Number 2, and before I just mention this, when I went on a whole lot of Wolves, a big fear of the 4 people I talked to on this show, by the way, I would highly recommend listening to this show. It's a very good show. They are fearful, and I mean really fearful, of Raul Jimenez in this match. They were also fearful of Adama Traore, but he's been ruled out by Marco. So that's one thing for them that they don't have to be worried about. But I am telling you right now, they should be worried. They absolutely should be worried. Number 2, get Raul Jimenez involved early and often. He's going to start in this match. He has, based on what I've learned, great respect and love for Wolverhampton Wanderers, okay? But you know what? He also has knowledge, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I think that could play a huge benefit in this match, not just for him, but for his teammates, for Marco setting Fulham up. I think Raul Jimenez is going to play a massive role in this match before and during the match, before helping Fulham know more about Wolves. And then, of course, during the match, I think that he, I wouldn't say has something to prove. I don't think he has anything to prove to the Wolves supporters. They love him. But I think this is something for him to really make a mark on. He finally got his first goal. This is a wonderful opportunity for him. Listen, we saw this last season when Fulham played Chelsea and Willian got the goal. I'm not saying that there's extra motivation, but I'm just saying that I think that there's an opportunity here for Raul Jimenez to play against his former side and do some damage. He knows them well. He knows where they're weak. He knows where they're strong. Get Raul Jimenez involved early and often in this match. I think it's very important. Okay. Coming up next is my number 1 key to victory, followed by a discussion on the starting 11 and my prediction for the match. Okay, my number 1 key to victory is this, and it's a very big one. Fulham have to win the battle in central midfield. This is going to be difficult without João Palhinha. So what do Fulham do? How does Marco overcome this? Now, last season, we saw them really struggle when Palhinha was out. I've seen them work over the summer to get ready for this moment because we knew at some point he would be out. You knew it was going to happen. You knew that he would be out of a match, suspended. You knew this was going to happen. So Fulham, I think, have prepared well. So what they're going to need to do is they're going to need to win this battle without him. And it might take 2 players to do it. I'll talk in my starting 11 who I think they're going to be. But I believe at least one is going to be Sasa Lukic. And listen, they have a very good central midfield. We're talking about Wolves. This is where the match, I think, will be won, lost, or a draw. And old friend Mario Lamina is in there. Gomez is in there. Bellegarde. They have some very good players in central midfield. They're going to be difficult to play against. Let's just say that. So Fulham are going to have to win this central midfield battle, and that includes the number 10 role, whoever that is. I think it'll probably be Andres Pereira. So he's going to have to do his job in this match, but the match will be won, lost, or there could be a draw, and it's going to come down to central midfield. That's why that's my number one key to victory. Fulham have to win this battle, and it's not going to be easy against a very good central midfield with Wolves. Okay, so let's get to the end of the show where I talk about the starting 11. So I'll share what I would do for a starting 11, and then I'll share what I think Marco's going to do. I'm going to say Leno, Castagna, Robinson. What I would do, I would play Bassi and Tosin. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I would do that. He's not going to do that, Marco. I'll get to that in a second. If Tosin's healthy, I'm going Bassi and Tosin. So in central midfield, this is where it gets interesting, and I want to give a lot of credit to my friend Tony Gold. We were talking about this earlier, and I asked him, what would you do? This is what he would do, and then I'll share what I would do. Tony Gold said he would go with actually Tom Kearney in the number 10 role, and he would go with Reed and Sasa Lukic because you need that strength in central midfield to deal with Wolves. And I can see his point on that. But I like the fact that he went outside the box a little bit and went with Tom Kearney instead of Pereira. This is what I would do. I would go a little bit different from Tony. I would go Reed and Lukic. I agree with this. I've heard and listened to a few podcasts talking about the need for Reed and Lukic, and I actually agree with it. I've given it some thought. I agree with that because I think you need those two to help offset the loss of João Palhinha. So I'm there with that. The number 10 role, I'm going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to put Pereira in this match. I know Pereira is probably going to play. But I would put, as my number 10, I would go Iwobi. On the left, I would go with Willian. On the right, I would go with Harry Wilson. Up front, I'm going with Raul Jimenez. Now, that's what I would do. What I think Marco will do is this. He's going to go Leno. I'm going to say he's going to go Castagna, Robinson. I say he will go with Reem and Bassi. In the middle, this is what I think he's going to do. I think he will go with Reed, Lukic, and Pereira. On the left, I think he's going to go to Willian, and I think he'll go to Wilson on the right and Jimenez up front. That's what I think he will end up doing, what Marco will be. That's my prediction for what Marco's going to do, and I gave you what I would do. Okay, to finish up, I'm going to give you my prediction for the match. And as I mentioned, I listened to what the guys from Whole Lot of Wolves predicted for this match. And they had some interesting predictions. A few had a draw. And there was also a prediction of a 3-1 win for Wolves in this match. So based on that prediction, I am going to actually give my own prediction. I'm feeling very good about Fulham in this match. They need all 3 points. This is a good side, but I think they're ready. A lot of time to prepare for this match for Marco. I'm going 3-1 to Fulham. Yes, you're going to say, well, how are they going to score the goals? I am going to, can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going to say that Raul Jimenez is going to score a hat trick. I'm going out on a limb that he's going to have a massive day. I'm going 3-1 to Fulham. I think they're going to score multiple goals. My prediction of a hat trick probably will not come true, but I think it's going to be a very good night for Fulham Football Club against a very good side. My prediction, 3-1 to Fulham. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. That's going to do it for this episode. My name is Russ Goldman. Thank you as always for watching and listening to Cottage Talk, part of the talkSPORT Fan Network.